All right, welcome back, Oklahoma. 9:13 is the time on this Friday morning, and you'll notice a lot of people wearing red today in honor of Go Red for Women, raising awareness about the dangers of cardiovascular disease. So in studio this morning, we do have Mark Freed with the American Heart Association here in Oklahoma. Mark, thanks so much for coming on and talking about this really important topic.
Well, thanks for having me.
All right, so let's start with the first question. How is the American Heart Association here in Oklahoma really reminding people, highlighting the dangers of cardiovascular disease?
Well, it's all about the awareness and for everybody, men and women, to understand just how lethal heart disease is. Actually, heart disease is the #1 cause of death for women. It's the #1 cause of death of new moms. And so we want to bring people together today. It's National Wear Red Day. Try to elevate that awareness and understanding of what heart disease is and how it impacts our moms, our wives, our sisters, our friends, and to call attention to that, and in the process help people see the steps that they can take to give themselves the best chance of a long, healthy life.
Absolutely. Let's talk about some of the initiatives that AHA is doing here in Oklahoma for this month. We were talking during the break. This is a really big month for you all.
It's a huge month, and it all comes back to what are we doing to try to help people understand more about heart disease. And so this month it's all about the awareness. Today is Wear Red. We're asking everybody to wear red today and bring this issue to light. Actually, next Tuesday, February the 11th, we're going to be lighting up the downtown in red. The Devon Tower will be lit up in red. The Skydance Bridge will be in red. And so we're excited just to put that out there and again to call attention to that so that people are understanding of what this issue is.
It really makes people, stop and think, what am I doing and how can I help in this situation, and make sure that people know about, again, the dangers of cardiovascular disease if they have a woman in their life that they care about. So I do want to switch questions here.
Sure.
Talk about the disease itself.
Yes.
And also what makes this the leading cause of death for women.
Well, the thing about heart disease is that there's so many things that can impact that cause that to be a challenge for folks. What we do know now that almost half of women in America, almost half, over the age of 20, have some form of cardiovascular disease. Most of them don't even know it yet. And so for us, we want to help people understand the things that they can do. First of all, know your numbers, know your blood pressure, and work towards a healthy blood pressure, and your blood sugar and your cholesterol, and work towards a healthy body weight. If folks will really understand the impact of those four numbers and be diligent about giving themselves the best chance for healthy numbers, then that's going to pay off in the end for them.
Absolutely. Know where you start so you can
know where to go.
Raise that red flag.
That's
whenever
right.
something goes wrong. So talk about CPR, because that's an important topic about when we talk about this disease and making sure that we are trained. So how important is it to get training in CPR?
Well, it's critical, because when you think about 350,000 people will die of heart attacks this year in America, 350,000. And when someone goes into cardiac arrest, they have about a 10% chance of survival. The thing that is going to change that and really and help those chances, maybe double or even triple those chances, is for individuals who are bystanders to step right in and to be, first of all, to be educated, and then to intervene when they have a chance. Instead of being a bystander and just watching and not being able to help, we want to be a nation of lifesavers. So learning CPR is so simple, and it's just about hands-only CPR. So the things that are the hurdles of mouth-to-mouth, that sort of thing, we remove that, because the science tells us that the most important thing is to get the chest compressions going. And so learning CPR truly can be a life-saving skill.
And I love how you said it. We want to be a nation of lifesavers. Yes. That's really powerful. It's important for women to take part in studies where they do take a closer look at cardiovascular disease. So what is your message to Oklahomans watching right now? Again, someone who has a woman in their lives that they really care about, to make sure that they're doing what they need to do to raise more awareness around this issue.
Well, I love this question, because when it comes to all the interventions and treatments, that doesn't happen without the research. And the research is only going to be as good as the kind of folks who are involved in the research trials. And in 2020, which is the last time we had the numbers for it, about 40% of those who are involved in cardiovascular research were women. And that's just not enough. We need to have a greater number of women so that we can gather as much information as possible, so we can find those treatments that will continue to save lives.
Absolutely. So today, Go Red for Women
That's
Day.
right.
You're going to see so many people out there in in their red. I have my red on. Mark, you have your red on. The rest of KOCO has their red on today. Join them in their fight here to raise awareness against cardiovascular disease. Mark, thank you so much for coming on and giving us all this really great insight.
Thank you so much.